W8VPV. Repeater. W8VPV. Repeater. net.
Good evening, and welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club's Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. My name is Russ, and my call is KDA-VYT. But for this presentation of Newsline, I will be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Without further ado, this is Amateur Radio Newsline.
Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2445 with the release date of Friday, September 6, 2024, to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. Hams assist during deadly floods in Bangladesh. 2 special events reflect on key moments in U.S. history. And some electrifying news about honeybees. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2445 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's first independent on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now reporting from Charleston, West Virginia, here's Jim Dameron, N8TMW.
Our top story takes us to Bangladesh, where one amateur's distress call led to an informal but highly effective network of rescue communicators. Graham Kemp, VK4BB, describes the scene.
In Bangladesh, an informal group of community-based hams mobilized to provide vital communication in the region surrounding Feni district following deadly floods that began on the 19th of August. Hams in the capital city of Dhaka rallied to assist after hearing from a fellow amateur via social media he was trapped by rising water levels with no emergency response in sight. Abdullah Al-Fahad, S21AF, stayed in touch with the amateur and monitored his situation whilst alerting other area hams. He said in an email, and I quote, "We knew we had to act quickly," end quote. Traditional means of communication were down. By the 22nd of August, the team's base station was set up at a 15-storey building in Feni and a control room established at the office of Feni's Deputy Commissioner. There, the first group of amateur radio responders coordinated with the Office of the Deputy Commissioner to help in the deployment of rescue and relief teams. Many hams continue to join the effort, bringing along their own personal equipment so the response network could extend its reach. Stations were set up at 2 Army camps, so the Deputy Commissioner had communication with both the Army and field rescue teams. Fahad said that another base was set up at a scout headquarters in Dhaka and another at his QTH. Over a 4-day period, the hams kept communication open across a 70-kilometre radius. It was estimated that they helped bring more than 375 rescue operations to fruition, some in remote areas. With floodwater receding, authorities in Bangladesh have since turned their attention to the spread of waterborne illnesses. Some of the hams moved on to assist the flood situation in Noakhali. Fahad told the website, tbsnews.net, "Even though we weren't under any official banner, just a group of friends doing what we could, we made a real difference." The amateur who had sent out the original distress call to Fahad was rescued after 4 days. This is Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
Scientists are hopeful that a Raspberry Pi may be a key component in making underwater communication more effective. Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, has that story.
A Raspberry Pi is being used as one of the three main components of a modem that is under development by researchers in Italy to make underwater communications more effective and less expensive. As described in a recent article in the IEEE Spectrum, the Raspberry Pi is the modem's base. There is also a sound card hardware attachment which generates and records audio signals. For undersea operations, most modems use acoustical signals instead of radio because despite the slower rate at which they move, these signals can cover greater distances. Researchers at the University of Padova believe the modem will be a much more affordable alternative for communication with submarines, sensors, or other entities. According to the Spectrum article, current modems typically cost at least $10,000. The researchers Filippo Compagnero and Michel Sorzi are also developing a transducer for conversion of energy into acoustic signals and back again. Their more affordable device is a modification of something typically used to monitor the sounds of marine mammals, and it costs hundreds instead of thousands of US dollars. By making this technology more affordable, the scientists believe its uses can be extended beyond the military or the offshore oil and gas industries into the realms of biodiversity studies and climate change. This is Jeremy Bucci for NJH.
Hams in Pennsylvania and beyond are grieving the loss of a friend who was an advocate for cancer research and cancer patient assistance. We hear about him from Travis Lisk, N3ILS.
A little more than a year ago, Richard Reba, WQ3Q, put out a call to his fellow hams asking for them to join the on-air team for N3P, a special event station to raise awareness and donations for pancreatic cancer research. On Thursday, September 5th, the Skyview Amateur Radio Society issued another call during their 2-meter evening net on Richard's behalf. It was a final call. Richard became a silent key on the 31st of August, 5 years after being diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, the same illness that took the life of his younger brother years earlier. An advocate for supporting research, Richard had been the driving force behind an annual special event station that went on the air throughout the U.S. in conjunction with a Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania walkathon to benefit the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network. He was well known for his devotion to radio as a member and former officer of the Skyview Amateur Radio Society and the Breeze Shooters Club of Western Pennsylvania. He recently joined the Southwestern Pennsylvania Skywarn and the community collaborative Rain, Hail, and Snow Network. Richard was known as the designer of the QSL card for K2M, the Pennsylvania colony of the annual 13 Colonies special event station for each of the past 4 years. He also had a unique way of identifying himself. Because his call sign contained the character combination Q3Q, he often referred to his QTH as the Shack of Quack. Eddie Mizowitz, KB3YRU, net control for the Skyview Thursday Night Net, said, quote, "His hope and his positive attitude will continue in all of us," end quote. Richard, who had been licensed since 2013, was 74. This is Travis Lisk, N3ILS.
Hams are also mourning the loss of the assistant editor of the AMSAT Journal. We hear more about him from Neil Rapp, WB9VPG.
As both an editor and contributor, Paul Graveline, K1YUB, began his 7-year tenure as an assistant editor for the AMSAT Journal with the publication of the July-August 2017 issue. His deep involvement with AMSAT included being a member of the CubeSat Sim Educational Materials team that is part of AMSAT's Educational Relations program, using the CubeSat simulator as a learning tool. Paul, who was born in 1947, became a silent key on the 19th of August. His ham radio career had its roots in his activities as an enthusiastic shortwave listener starting in 1960. 3 years later, he became an amateur radio operator with a special interest in CW. His love for shortwave listening was undiminished, and with a friend, he later assisted in the rejuvenation of the listeners group known as the Boston Area DXers. Paul wrote about Dr. Tamitha Skov, WX6SWW, for a January-February 2022 cover story in the AMSAT Journal. He was also coordinator for her Super Community Project, which seeks to spread a better understanding of space weather. This is Neil Rapp, WB9VPG.
Some hams in Australia may have already noticed some new fees associated with their call signs. John Williams, VK4JJW, is here to explain them.
Beginning on the 1st of September, hams in Australia will be paying a new fee of $34 for some special types of call signs that have a 12-month assignment period. Those receiving a contest call sign will be charged $15. Those transferring a call sign to another amateur will be charged $15, and hams with a VK9 or VK0 call sign representing Australian external territories are the ones who will pay $34. The ACMA will send these call sign holders a reminder to renew after the 12-month period. Otherwise, the call sign will be made available for reallocation on the registry. Meanwhile, hams having 2-letter, 3-letter and F-series call signs are required to confirm active use of their call every 5 years, but there are no longer any annual fees involved. An explanation of the new fees and policy from the Australian Communications and Media Authority can be seen on their website in the Amateur Radio Call Sign Policy document. See the link in the text version of this week's Newsline script. This is John Williams, VK4JJW.
Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the WB0QXW repeater, St. Louis, Missouri, following the Monday Night Net at 7 o'clock Central Time. Two special events are on the air, marking very different occasions in U.S. history. The 2024 Route 66 on the air special event will be active September 7th through to the 15th, celebrating the highway known as the Mother Road. Listen for 23 one-by-one call signs that begin with W6. From September 8th through to the 12th, hams are marking a more somber moment in history with the K4A special event, commemorating the terror attacks on September 11th, 2001. See QRZ.com for details of both events. New Zealand is taking the first steps in providing digital radio service for its emergency response teams. Jim Meacham, ZL2BHF, brings us up to date.
A digital radio service for emergency responders has begun its rollout in New Zealand, putting 4 of the nation's emergency service agencies on the same network for the first time in history. The transmissions on the new land mobile radio network will be used by police, fire and emergency, Wellington Free Ambulance and Hatahone St John Ambulance. The push-to-talk transmissions will be fully encrypted. The rollout of the LMR network will begin in Canterbury, Wellington and Auckland in 2025, and the goal is to ultimately serve 11 regions across New Zealand by 2026. LMR becomes part of the public safety network, joining cellular roaming, which has been in service for the responders since July 2023. The public safety network is spending 10 years and $1.4 billion to bring new devices into play for emergency response. The announcement by Internal Affairs Minister Brooke Van Velden did not mention other emergency responders such as Landsar, the Coast Guard or Civil Defence. According to Next Generation Critical Communications, which is developing New Zealand's public safety network, there is room for other government agencies to come on board later. This is Jim Meacham, ZL2BHF.
If you're looking to upgrade your license or to simply make a start as a technician, a new online resource has become available, and it's free. We hear the details from Stephen Kinford, N8WB.
Hopeful candidates for the U.S. Technician and General Amateur Radio licenses can now turn to a free self-paced study guide being made available on the educational platform known as Super K Nova. The courses were developed by the National Radio Astronomy Observatory with the help of a grant from Amateur Radio Digital Communications. Both the technician course and the upgrade to general class focus heavily on fundamentals of the electromagnetic spectrum and the basics of radio waves and propagation. The observatory said that this makes the material valuable for those in disciplines outside amateur radio too, such as individuals involved in science, technology, engineering, and math careers. The coursework makes use of licensed study materials from the ARRL. Jesse Alexander, WB2IFS, the project instructor, said in a press release that, quote, "This is a great opportunity to share amateur radio with a new generation of potential ham radio enthusiasts. We've designed this course to introduce learners to the electromagnetic spectrum while developing radio skills and knowledge," end quote. This is Stephen Kinford, N8WB.
In the world of DX, be listening for Cole, MM0NDX, and Steve, MM0SAJ, using the call sign 3A/MM0NDX and 3A/MM0SAJ from Monaco until the 9th of September. They are focusing on the low bands during their evening hours and on 6 meters. QSL both calls via EB7DX and LOTW. Mikel, IZ8PWN, is active holiday style as 8Q7WN from the Maldives, IOTA number AS013 through to the 13th of September using SSB and FT8 on 40 through 10 meters. QSL via I8KHC. Greg, N9GB, will be active holiday style as J3/N9GB from Granada through the 10th of September using CW and SSB on 40 through 10 meters and some operation on 6 meters. See QRZ.com for QSL details. A team of operators using the call sign EJ7NET, namely EI3HA, EI3ISB, EI5KO, EI6FR, and EI9JF, will be on the air from the 7th through to the 11th of September from Inishmore, Aran Islands, IOTA number EU006. They'll be using CW, SSB, and FT8 on the HF bands. QSL direct to EI6FR. For our final story, the buzzword is electricity. And it really, really is the buzzword. As we hear from Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
The University of Bristol's Botanic Garden in Stoke Bishop was all abuzz with bees on the 24th and 25th of August, as visitors learned about the importance bees have as pollinators and agents of change in the overall environment. It was not so long ago, though, that the university's researchers made a sweet and surprising discovery about something else. They found that swarms of honeybees are capable of generating electrical charges in the atmosphere to rival those of thunderstorm clouds. In fact, the more dense the swarm, the bigger the electrical charge. The scientists recorded currents from swarms passing over a campus field station during 3-minute intervals. They recorded as many as 1,000 volts per meter. The research was published nearly 2 years ago in the Smithsonian Magazine and the journal iScience. Don't get too excited about applying bee power to any amateur radio operation going portable in the vicinity of an apiary. According to an article in the magazine Popular Science, 50 billion bees would be needed to provide power to an LED light. That means that even the smallest of the small rigs could not possibly even hope to get on the air operating QRB. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
Don't forget the Amateur Radio Newsline Haiku Challenge. If you're not too busy tuning your antennas or chasing the latest DXpedition, pick up a pencil and share your experience by sending an original haiku to us here at Newsline. Use the entry form on our website, arnewsline.org, and please follow the rules for writing your 3-line haiku. Sorry, but we cannot accept any entries that aren't written in traditional haiku form. Share with fellow listeners the poetry that is inspired by your ham radio experience. With thanks to Abdullah Al-Fahad, S21AF, Amateur Radio Weekly, Amateur Radio Digital Communications, AMSAT News, ARRL, Australian Communications and Media Authority, David Behar, K7DB, Eddie Mizowitz, KB3YRU, 425DX News, IEEE, India Today, Next Generation Critical Communications, NZNet Newsletter, planetb.org, QRZ.com, Smithsonian Magazine, TBT Newsnet, shortwaveradio.de, and you, our listeners, that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer nonprofit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org, and know we appreciate you all. We also remind listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Jim Dameron in a TMW in Charleston, West Virginia, saying 73. And as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2024, all rights reserved.
This concludes our Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. Net to start in about 9 minutes.
W8VPV. Repeater.
Good evening. Calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night VHF UHF net. My name is John and my call is W03X. However, for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is an open directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information to enhance net operating practices and to keep members up to date about club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at 8:30 p.m. local time, preceded by Amateur Radio Newsline at 8:01. We will start with announcements and then ask for check-ins from any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club. Once that is complete, I'll take check-ins, call signs only, 5 at a time, and confirming each call sign. Then I'll correspond with those 5 check-ins and ask for more check-ins until we're done. If you're a regular participant, I'll probably recognize you by call sign. If not, please give your call repeated phonetically, followed by your name and your location. When all check-ins have been corresponded with, I will repeat the announcements and then give one last call for check-ins. We also operate a band exploration net at 9:30 p.m. after this net. Please join us if you have the privileges and equipment. The approximate frequencies are posted on our webpage, www.cfarc.org. And tonight we will be on 10 meters at approximately 28.360 megahertz upper sideband. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for officers or members who have an announcement of... Oh, wait, let me give a couple of announcements here first. Okay, most importantly, the event that was scheduled for this coming Wednesday, September 11th, Everybody on the Air and Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club to the Field has been canceled due to lack of participants signing up. We watch your email in case there is the possibility of an in-person and Zoom meeting on that day instead. But that is not likely because we weren't prepared for that, but it could happen nonetheless. This Thursday, September 12th, is a volunteer exam session. The test starts at 6:30 p.m. at the Cuyahoga Falls Library. That's on 2nd Street between Broad Boulevard and Portage Trail, or you can get to it from 3rd Street between Broad Boulevard and Portage Trail. Pre-register for that by going to our website, www.cfarc, click on Education, and in the middle of the page there is a link, register for an exam. Also on, let's see, what's that date? October 6th. Starts a technician license class that's online. Register for that, again, by going to our website, www.cfarc.org. Click on the word education, and on the left side of the page is information about that class and how you can register for it, and the times and dates of the classes. This Wednesday, September 11th, is Patriot Day, so don't forget to put your flag out on display. Let's see, that's all that I have in the way of announcements. So are there any officers or members who have an announcement of general interest to the club? This is Whiskey 8 Victor, Papa Victor. Okay, sounds like I covered it all. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor, Papa Victor, now asking for check-ins. I'll take 5, but let me acknowledge each one at a time. KD8YAX. KD8YAX, I have you, Forrest. Another one. CPU. K8PU, Larry, I have you. Another one. KB8VHK.
Back Romeo, KE8TQR, keep the units down.
Okay, I got KBHBHK and KE8TQR. Keith. Let's see, another one, please.
November 8, Alpha Charlie Papa, N8ACP, Chris, Cadillac Hill, Akron.
N8ACP, I have you, Chris, thanks. Okay, so let's go back to the top. KD8YAX, Forrest, I assume is in and out. So let's go to Larry, K8PU. Go ahead, Larry, with your comments.
John, everybody on the net, enjoying this weather. Kind of early fall, but very comfortable, very nice. Can't be. I kind of wish we'd have a meeting Wednesday. It's good to see the guys, and so I hope they make the determination we can just do that. And beyond that, not a whole lot to say, John. Look forward to seeing you over on 10 meters, 9:30. So back to you, W8VPV, 8PU.
Yeah, Larry. I don't know if we'll have a meeting or not. We'll have to watch our email for that. Since the operation on the, over the air there was canceled, so watch your email for that, and maybe we'll have an in-person meeting and with Zoom. But the last word I heard was that there was no program planned as a substitute, but maybe somebody will come up with one. Okay, thanks for checking in, Larry, and we'll listen for you on 10 meters. Okay, next was, I have KB8BHK, but I think I have one of the letters wrong there. Go ahead and give me the correction of your call. This is Whiskey 8 Victor, Papa Victor. Oscar Hotel number. The call sign is Kilo Bravo 8 Victor Hotel Kilo. Glad to hear everybody on the net tonight. I just had a question for that. I noticed on the web page that it still shows the Summit Metro Parks on the air, and I wanted to know if that was still going on or if anybody was participating in it. And also let the club know I finally got a vertical HF antenna up in the air, so hopefully I'll see you on the net tonight. And that's all I got.
Okay, John. Yeah, I got the correction, KB8VHK. No, that yeah, it's still on the website, but that's been canceled because there weren't enough participants. So that's the item I was talking about that was canceled. That was for this Wednesday. So I'll listen for you on 10 meters there, and hope you'll be able to hear me. Okay, so next was Keith, KEATQR. Go ahead, Keith, with your comments.
Out in the backyard, and now I can start adding all the antennas, mass poles, and rotors, and coax, and all the good stuff that makes it a great tower. So, anyway, don't want to take up a lot of time. Just wanted to jump in here tonight and say hello to everyone. Hope everyone has a great rest of their evening and a great rest of the week. And just like I said, enjoy the weather. This is KEATQR saying 73, and God bless.
Okay, Keith, very good. Your signal was a little scratchy at first, so I missed some of that, but I assume that since your tower is horizontal at this time, that you will not be on the 10-meter net this evening. Is that true? Over.
Roger on that. I do not have HF capabilities, but down the road I will. So listen out for me. KEATQR.
Okay, Keith. Very good. Well, thanks for checking in here this evening, and we'll be listening for you when you get your HF capabilities back up. Okay, so that takes us to Chris, N8ACP. Go ahead, Chris, with your comments. This is Whiskey Victor, Papa Victor.
Good evening, John, and all on the net. Good to hear you. Let's see what's been going on. 10 meters has been open around the world the last several days. Of course, we had the All Asia contest this weekend. I did work quite a few stations, but several of the ones I'm going to mention I did not get to work. I could hear them perfectly fine, but there was they had huge pileups, and those include the countries of Vietnam, several stations in Vietnam, Hong Kong, Taiwan, China, the Seychelles, and gosh, a bunch of other ones. But I did get Oman, so that's 176 countries with the 100 watts on a wire, the power of a light bulb. Kind of crazy. Work around the world with a light bulb. Let's see what else. The battle on Cadillac Hill here does continue. The score is N8ACP 13 and the Groundhogs 0. But we did have we caught a possum last night and in the trap, and we had a moment of mercy for Percy the possum. We let him loose, and he was very cooperative. He didn't play dead. We turned him loose, and he promptly scuttled out of there and climbed up a tree. So they're good to have around. We didn't want to relocate him. So that's all the news from me. W8VPV from November 8 Alpha, Charlie Papa 73.
Yeah, very good, Chris. We don't have any groundhogs here, but we do have possums that come by. There's a big one, and then it has like a regular route, and then every now and then, I guess it has some little ones, and so there'll be a little one. And one time, this is along the backyard there, but one time I came out in the late evening, and one was in the tree lawn there, a little one, and it played dead, you know, and until I got past it, and then it took off. So they're kind of cute, you know, to see their activities. Okay, very good. So thanks for checking in, Chris, and maybe we'll hear you. Will we hear you on 10 meters there? Over.
I'm still in here, John. I'll be sure to check in with you, but I'm not sure I can hang that long. So no promises, but I won't say no either. W8VPV, November 8 Alpha, Charlie Papa.
Okay, Chris. Yeah, that net doesn't start till 9:30. So, okay, very good. Thanks. Okay, so that takes us to the bottom of that list there. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John W03X at the mic asking for check-ins.
K8HMS.
K8HMS, I have you, Steve. Another one, please.
Yo, Charlie, November.
Okay, a tone there, a couple of tones took the beginning of your call sign out. Could you please repeat it?
Okay, I don't know, I got something wrong on this radio set wrong here. It's WA8RCN, John.
Okay, Jim, WA8RCN. Okay, great, thanks. Another check-in, please.
Kilo Echo 8, Foxtrot Kilo November.
Okay, I got KE8, FKN, and somebody tried just before that, but it dropped off right away. I guess the battery was low, maybe on a handheld. Want to try it again, or come back later?
W8EZT.
W8EZT. I got you, Frank. And one more.
Kilo Echo 8, Zulu Papa X-Ray.
KE8ZPX. I have you in and out. So let's go back up to Steve. K8HMS. Go ahead, Steve, with your comments.
W8VPV in the net, K8HMS. Yeah, good evening, John. Good evening, everybody. And not much going on. Just enjoying this weather. I've been doing a lot of outside work. I've been painting my deck and things, so it's really been conducive to doing that. Other than that, I guess that's about it. Been, it's Route 66 week, so I'm trying to, again, work all the stations on the Route 66 special event station. So it's always a good thing to do. And traveled that way back when, 1962, before the interstates were in. So brings back memories. And I guess that's about it. Hopefully see you on 10, K8HMS.
Okay, Steve, very good. I traveled in 2019. I did little bits of it, the parts of it that were on the interstate, but also through Flagstaff there. That was in September 2019. So I never went on the original Route 66. Okay, we'll look for you on 10 meters there. Okay, next was Jim, WA8RCN. Go ahead, Jim, with your comments.
Okay, John, very good. I see the radio's doing something funky. It's I hit the wrong button one time cleaning it or something, and I can see what's going on there. It says it's doing a tone thing or something first. I got to figure out what's going on. I barely use this thing, so I got to figure it out. But anyway, say good evening to everybody in the net. And this is the first time I've been on here in a while because I took down some of the antennas and finally got about everything finished here now. So what we ended up doing, we got that. I got a 60-foot tower in the backyard. That's a universal aluminum. Has 30 inches at the base and goes up to 18 inches up there, and it's got a 20-foot mast in it with a T2X rotor up there. And worked on design with Bill at Universal and his engineers for a couple of months. Started last summer and just about got it done now. What we ended up got up there is a 2-meter beam. It's a M squared 19 elements on a 20-foot boom at 72 feet. The 6-meter beam is 6 elements on a 21-foot boom at 68 foot. The X7's up at 64 foot, and then we got a 2-element 40-meter beam at 60 feet, and it's all in about 25,000 pounds of concrete. So, we'll see how it weathers a storm. It's about 25 square foot up there, and the rotor is a T2X for 20. But done this before with other antennas, and sometimes you tear the rotor up, sometimes you don't. I got an extra rotor and extra parts, but you know what they say: if it stays up, it ain't big enough. So. We'll see what happens here. Back over to you, John. W8VPV, W8RCN.
Okay, Jim. Well, good luck with that, and maybe some Tuesday evening at 9:30 you could turn your antenna to the southeast and see if you can hear the WA3COM 10-meter net. They're on 28.340. Like I said, they start at 9:30, and the net control, the former net control station N3TIR is having medical problems. So a substitute N3IDH, who's in an area called Pancake, which is along US 40 down there near Washington, Pennsylvania, has been the net control station. But maybe you'd be able to hear him better than I can. So that's how that goes. So thanks for checking in, and maybe we'll hear you on 10 meters here this evening. Okay, so let's see, that takes us to, let's see, what do I have here? Oh, yeah. KB8, let's see, FKN. Let's see if I got that right. KE8 FKN, is that right? This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Okay, I got you there. Let's see, you're dropping out some, but do you have any comments, or are you in and out?
No big comments. Just sitting out in the backyard with a little bit of cloud.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for checking in. 73, and have a good evening. Okay, next was Frank. W8EZT. Go ahead, Frank, with your comments. Well, Frank, I didn't get any of that. Your signal was real weak, and you were in with the noise there, so I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe you're mobile or something, and let's see. Could you increase your power, maybe? This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Over. Well, I don't hear you at this time, Frank, so I'll repeat one important announcement, and that is that the everybody on the air and Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club to the Field event for this Wednesday from 4:30 to 7:30 has been canceled due to lack of number of people to sign up. So watch your email in case it's possible that we come up with something to have an in-person meeting instead. So that's the story here. So like I said, watch your email for that. And maybe if you get in a better spot or whatever, or can maybe you're mobile, come on back later. Let's see. So next was let's see, KEHZPX, but he was in and out. So this is let's see if Frank is in a better spot there. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. W8EZT, are you in a better spot or more power? Over.
Is this doing any better, John?
Yeah, go ahead.
My apologies. I was on an HT and the battery was down, so I was probably a couple hundred milliwatts at best. Anyway, just wanted to let everybody know what you've already mentioned, that Wednesdays everyone on the air has been canceled, but stay tuned to email. We may be doing a last-minute program. We've got to talk with Anthony and John about that and see what we can come up with. We'll have some clubhouse activities this fall, but we're still cleaning it up. It had a bit of a mouse infestation that we're trying to sanitize it with, but as soon as we get that done, we will have some activities out there, including probably a build project or something for some kind of an antenna. So anyway, that's all I've got. If anybody does have some ideas about what they want to hear about, whether it be technical in nature, operational in nature, public service in nature, whatever, let one of us know. This club is here for you. If you want to learn how to put a station together, let one of us know. If you want to learn about lightning protection, let one of us know. If we don't know, we'll find the right program and get it to you. And it'll. I think if you have questions about it, other people do. All right, that's all I've got. I'm going to go heat up dinner. We'll catch you on 10 meters tonight. W8EZT here, back to net.
Okay, Frank. Yeah, that worked out well. Thanks, and hope to maybe see something going on this Wednesday evening. Thanks. Okay, so that takes us to the bottom of that list, that group. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins.
KA8OAD.
KA8OAD. Go ahead, Ken.
Okay, John. I just wanted to let everyone know that Summit County Aries is again looking for volunteers to help us with the Akron Marathon. It's coming up this month, end of September 28th, which is a Saturday. We are in need of volunteers. If you can help us at all with that marathon, I would
deeply appreciate it. And you can sign up on our website, summitares.org, and then you also need to sign up for it on the marathon website, which is what they call Race Roster. If you've signed up on Race Roster before and you've forgotten how to do it, or you've never signed up, there are directions on the Summit Aries website that walks you through signing up and how you get to the ham section to actually volunteer as a ham radio operator. So that is a need that we have, and if you guys have a need for a program, I could do something. I just did a program recently on remoting your radio, remote operations using the ICOM remote software and some other remote software. I'd be happy to give that presentation Wednesday night if you're in dire need. But let me know, K8OAD.
Oh, okay, Ken. How could we get in touch with you for if we want to do that?
Just have somebody give me a call, John, whenever. Like I said, I just recently did it, so it's fresh in my mind, and I have it ready to go, so it wouldn't be a problem. K8OAD.
Okay, I have your number, and okay, thanks. Thanks for that. Okay, maybe you'll be hearing from us. K8OAD, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins.
KE8KVI, in and out, one for the numbers.
KE8KVI, in and out, thanks, Ron. Another check-in, please.
K8WTK.
KA8WTK, I have you, Bill. Another check-in, please. The audio was too low on that. I couldn't copy that. Could you give it another try? Over. I got Kilo Foxtrot 8, and then there's a Delta in there. So we'll get back with you. Another check-in, please. Okay, I'm not getting anything from that. That signal's not making it into the repeater. So let's see. We talked with Ken, K8OAD, and KE8KVI. Ron is in and out. So that takes us to Bill, KA8WTK. Go ahead, Bill, with your comments.
W8VPV, KA8WTK. Not a whole lot going on here, but I hear from the comments, been a lot of tower work going on. We did some of that last week as well. We had a 55-foot bucket lift here. My tower is 42 feet 6 inches tall, and I needed to do some work up there because the antennas were windmilling. And we mounted a new rotor up there and took down a 432 beam and a 2-meter beam and put up a 6-meter beam and some brackets, whatever, go through the tower, and a couple of pulleys up there so you can pull up wire antennas, 80-meter dipole. I'm playing around with a 40-meter delta loop too. So there's been a lot of antenna work going on. So that's what kept me busy for a while. Also let me buy some time. Also been doing something I haven't done for a very long time, and that's set up a radio to monitor 14.230 for slow scan television. I've received pictures from the Canary Islands and Turkey yesterday, so it's been pretty interesting. Back to net, W8VPV, KA8WTK.
Yeah, very good, Bill. Well, sounds like you're having fun there, so hopefully it all works out good for you there. So thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, let's see. So I got on to QRZ.com, and the only KF8 in Talmadge is KF8YUD. If that's not you, come on back and do a correction. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. KF8 and was that a Yankee Uniform Delta? Over.
Sorry, that is Kilo Foxtrot 8 Alpha Victor Delta. I was kind of playing around with HRD, doing a voice activation over a headset, so wasn't working.
Oh, okay. Yeah, very good. Your audio is a lot better this way. So, what's going on over there besides that experiment?
Nothing much. Just reminding everyone that I've got a portable operation for amateur radio book available for the first person past the post that gets their general on next Thursday. And kind of disappointed that the Everyone on the Air event was canceled.
Yeah, Ray. I'm disappointed too. But it looks like you and I and only a couple others were signed up for that. So Anthony decided to cancel it. So we may possibly would have a program maybe for this Wednesday. We'll see if they want to do that. That's the story there. So I'm disappointed too. I've done that for the last several years, and it was a lot of fun. I was going to be set up to do all the bands and modes in that operation, but that's how that went. So over.
The only thing I will say about it was that there was the caveat that we couldn't hang antennas in the tree or stake anything in the ground. Kind of limits everyone.
Yeah, what I used was one of those olive drab fiberglass mast sections. And I would put like 4 of them, and then I had these paddle-like things for at the bottom. And so I would drive the car onto one of the 3 paddles, and then I had these solid concrete blocks that I would put on the other 2 paddles. And I had a guy rope that I would tie to the car just in case. And so on top of that, I put a, it was 6 meters, 2 meters, and 440 band vertical antenna. And then for 10 meters, I used a 10-meter ham stick on the trunk lip mount, and that worked very well. So that's what I've been using ever since we started doing this. Over.
I hate to be a little snarky, but that's not everyone on the air. If you're not letting us hang an antenna in the tree, stake something in the ground, then it's just a bunch of people going to parks with HDs.
Yeah, I guess, but I used my Yaesu FT100D, and that was capable of doing all those bands and modes. So yeah, I guess it couldn't be everyone on the air. So so that's how that went. So let's see. So with that, any last comments for us, Ray, before I ask for more check-ins? Over.
Nope. Back to you, Net Control.
Okay, very good. Thanks, and have a good evening. Okay, so this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John W3X at the mic asking for check-ins. Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
Here is Kilo Delta 8 November Echo Oscar KD8 NEO, Daryl in Holmes County.
Go ahead with your comments. We'll go one at a time here now.
Was you talking to me, John?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Net Control. KD8 NEO here. Yeah, I just bumped right on here, so I didn't know if you was running the net or you was talking there. So it's good to hear you in there, and I see some of the nets around our local areas kind of changed their times a little bit earlier. So now that they're turning the lights out on me, I'm going to get back in here a little bit more there. But really just taking a gander and the joy of the summer and the lights there, and be careful that with the drought there that if you have any fires, make sure you stick with them. Back to Net Control, KD8 NEO.
Yeah, very good, Bill. Yeah, I check into the WatchNet there every Tuesday at 9 p.m. on the 14667 repeater there, and but I check in and out because at the same time is a net in Lisbon, Ohio that I've been checking into for like 30 years. So Charlie there knows that I'll be checking in and out, and so that's how that goes. That's the WatchNet at 9 p.m. on 146.67 with a PL tone of 71.9, which I guess you're familiar with. Over.
Yeah, that's on Tuesday nights there. Thanks a lot there. Back to you, KD8 NEO.
Okay, Bill, very good. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Somebody was trying there, but there was not enough signal to get into the repeater.
Kilo Echo 8, Whiskey Golf Delta, Greg, in and out.
KE8 Whiskey Golf Delta. I have you in and out. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Another check-in, please.
Kilo Echo 8, Uniform Lima Charlie, Kurt, Cuyahoga Falls, in and out.
KE8ULC, I have you in and out. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Another check-in, please.
Whiskey 8, Kilowatt Foxtrot Whiskey, checking in and out.
Let's see. Could you repeat the call sign again? Whiskey something Kilowatt Foxtrot Whiskey. Over.
Whiskey 8, Kentucky Fried Wings, W8KFW, checking in and out.
Okay, I got you that time. Thanks. Yeah, your signal was strong enough, but I was slow writing here. Thanks for checking in, and have a good evening. Okay, another check-in, please. Okay, yeah, that was Whiskey 8, Kentucky Fried Wings. Okay, let's see here. So, I'll repeat the announcements here, and then I'll give one last call for check-ins. So this Thursday, that's September 12th, at 6:30 p.m. is a volunteer exam starts. It's at the Cuyahoga Falls Library. Get there before 6:30 so we can get you signed in, but you have to pre-register for that. Go to www.cfarc.org, click on education, and scroll down there, and there is a button there to click on to register for a license exam. Again, that's this Thursday, so sign up before that. The request is to sign up at least 24 hours before the test. So again, that's at the Cuyahoga Falls Library, 6:30 p.m. this Thursday, September 12th. Okay, as you may have heard during the net, that the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club to the Field, also called Everyone on the Air activity, has been canceled this year, so that was scheduled for this Wednesday, September 11th. So that's how that went. But watch your email. We may have an in-person meeting. We'll see. Okay, let's see. And so starting on October 6th is a technician license class. Again, go to www.cfarc.org, click on the word education at the top, and you will see on the left side there about the technician license class that starts on October 6th. Click on that to register and to get further information about the about the following days and times. Let's see, that's all that I have in the way of announcements. So this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-ins. Okay, this is Whiskey Victor Papa Victor. We will at 9:30 have our band exploration net, and we will be on or about real close to 28.360 megahertz upper sideband. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Last call for check-ins. Okay, not hearing any. In preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. This has been John, and my call is W03X, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, I will close the net with 19 check-ins counting myself and return a repeater to normal customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor closing the net at 9:21 p.m. local time. 7-3.
Port link off. W8VPV. Repeater.